Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave, episode 53. So, a couple episodes ago, I finally pulled out the Commodore 64 and gave a little bit of a talk about it, but I didn't actually plug it in, make sure it works or anything like that. So, now's that time. So, what I'm going to do is not just turn it on and be like, yeah, it works, but I also want to play a game. And I had to decide which game I wanted to play because I had a lot of favorites that I played on the system all the time, but one natural one comes to mind, and that's Impossible Mission. And I still have my original disc that my copied disc that I've had forever. And so yeah, let's play some Impossible Mission. So I'm going to try and boot this thing up. I haven't done it in a long time, so I don't even know if it's going to work. So hopefully it works, and else there won't be a video. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a playthrough of Impossible Mission. I'm not going to do a whole playthrough because that would just take too long. I'll just show some of the finer points of the game and the, putting the puzzle pieces together, some of them, and hopefully complete the game, just so you can see the ending. I'm going to be trying it on this controller, which is my Atari controller. I use this for pretty much all the systems that can support this 9-pin. So that would be like, well, not the Sega. I can't, need the other button. But I always use it on my Commodore and my Ataris and stuff. So let's fire this thing up and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like the system's all fired up here. So we got the basic system working. Got the disk drive on now. So to get these games going, I got, oops, I'm going to put in a little command here. Load, quote. Now asterisk usually loads wherever the very top file is. So in this case it would be the Impossible Mission boot file. And I'm going to hit return, and it's searching. So far so good. I mean, I haven't tested this in a long time, so just kind of crossing my fingers here. Now here's where our wait game happens. Okay, so we got the Impossible Mission by Epix, cracked by the kernel. The cracked. Now that tells you that the game was cracked. Obviously I didn't buy this. And press the space bar. Let's do that. And then we get this nice little loading screen. Now this was always the fun part of the old computers, was waiting. I mean, here's where you would kind of get up and go get your coffee, get your whatever, if you can drink beer at this age. I couldn't drink beer at this age when I played this. But, just got up and got your snack and wait. Oh, we got a black screen. Okay, something's happening.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
I just love that intro. Okay, so if you're not too familiar with this game, the object is you just got to go and search these components. You're in a building. That's really where you are. You're in some kind of building, which is controlled by this evil elven atom bender something, and it fell. And you got to search all his equipment and look for these passcodes, and try not to die like I did. I never knew what this floating ball thing is. I mean, the robots, you can figure them out, but what is this ball? Okay, that guy's going a little bit too fast. I might have to come back to that one. I'll look for something to put those guys to sleep. Oh, this room. Kind of have all the rooms memorized by now. Oh, look at that, I just got to sleep. So I can actually put those robots to sleep now because I found something that I can type into the computer, or input into that computer. It'll allow me to sleep the robots. This game is mostly about pattern recognition. Recognizing the patterns, the way the robots move, the speed, when they're going to hit you, when they're not going to hit you, like that. And just moving. I mean, a lot of this is agility, just being able to control that joystick to move this guy properly. So I'm going to put the robots to sleep. So I got these two options here. Reset the lift, which those little elevator things I climb up and down on in the room, and temporary disable. So I'm going to click that. Now nothing will hurt me. So now I can freely, but quickly, I state that, it's important, quickly scan as much as you can before they wake up. And there's no countdown, there's no timer, so you don't know when they're going to wake up. They just kind of wake up. So unless you time it yourself, figure out exactly how long it keeps them asleep. Learning the behavior of the robots too. I mean, there's so many different kinds of robots with their behaviors. So some of them, like this guy, he just moves back and forth at a slow pace. One of the easier ones. Some just kind of sit there. They don't do anything. They just sit there and they stare at you. Others will sit there, and then if you come near them, will shoot you. So you got to be careful, like that guy. And the ever tricky ones, where they look like they're innocent, but then when they see you, they charge towards you. And you got to watch out for those guys, because you might not be ready. I'm just going to go down this elevator shaft. Whoops. Here's where I need a lift. See, I fell off that ledge, and I can't get up unless I have a lift. I don't know if I got one, though. Oh, I did. Okay. Here's a really tricky jump. You can't just do... Oops, I did it again. You can't just do a regular jump. You have to do a kind of a jump where you run into the air a bit and then jump. It's kind of tricky. That guy above me, he's following me, so I gotta move fast on him. Wonder if I'll be able to walk off onto that ledge. I'll wait till that robot moves. This might not work. Ah. There we go. I had to actually just kind of walk a little bit into the air just before he's ready to fall, and then hit that jump button to make that really weird, tricky move. And a lot of this kind of acrobatic stuff where you're moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, just getting that pattern going. Can get a little annoying at times. But, you know, at least he's not shooting at me. And here's another tricky thing where you kind of got to walk across them all without falling through the cracks. And I fell through the cracks. Now, you can leave some stuff behind if you want, and hope that there's nothing in there. But, I mean, you'll have to remember to come back to that spot to if you're still missing one piece, which can be a bummer. Here's another trick. If you can manage to get the ball to come down and touch a robot, the ball gets eaten. I'll just stand here for a second. And... oh, go. Now this guy will be next to impossible because he's a follower bot, and I'm not going to be able to get there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, this might be a tricky one to... I'll have to put these guys to sleep. Both of them are kind of hard. And that's a big one. The other thing you'll notice is that some things could take like 2 seconds to search, and others could take like 5 seconds to search. Doesn't really matter about the size of the item either. Some items are really huge and it only takes like a second to search it. And that's the exit. Okay. And once you get to the bottom of the shaft, you have to move over to the next one. and so on and so on until you get to the end. Literally just going and searching everything you can until you get all those pieces. Then the fun part of putting the puzzles together and finding Elvin. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and found pretty much everything. I might have left something behind, I don't remember. But at this point, you got to find this room. And this room has a door that I'm pointing to right here. And that's where you got to go once you figure out the pieces. I'm just going to grab these last two ones. That's where, pretty much where Elvin's room is. Just got to search them. Alright. Now, all that's left to do is to figure out the puzzles. So, to do that, we have our puzzle pieces in here, which we've collected throughout all the rooms. And to put them together, I mean, you just simply got to find a bunch of them that all match up together, and then it will create a letter down here in your password section. So what I usually do is I go to this phone piece here. You can correct the orientation because you're allowed to move the puzzles around. So I'll show you here. I can take that here and I can change it all different directions. I can change colors and all that other kind of fun stuff. That's my pause button. These are just kind of your control pad. And then I can trash it if I don't want it. So rather than try and fiddle with it, you can actually just phone in and say correct them. Now this does eat away at your time. So you got to be careful. I mean, as long as you got enough time to do this. And then it will put two little orange bars right beside each one to say that these ones are already corrected. And I can move on. So now I can do that with this one. And there's another handy piece here, which is, do we have enough to solve the upper left puzzle? So that'll tell you if you're missing any pieces. I'm just going to do it with all of them, just to make life easier. As far as I understand, the color doesn't really matter. I mean, the color's just there to help you. So I'm going to take that out there, and I think that one goes in. No? Wait. Guess they're overlapping? Oh. Alright. Ah! I'm going to turn it green. Let's just trash this one for now. I think this little zigzaggy piece is going to fit here. Yay! And you kind of have to imagine, look at some of the little parts in there. I don't know if this will fit in there. I don't think it will. No. And keep looking. Yeah, that. Right? Nope. What is going to fit there? And other times I'll get a couple of them done doing them at the same time, so I'm not wasting a lot of time. I didn't find it, so I'm just going to go back to the top here. Oh, I got more pieces down here that I didn't correct. Okay, so now I just kind of fast forwarded again to the last few pieces I have left. And we'll just quickly throw these ones together. So much easier when you only have a few pieces left. And there we go. And our password is butterfly. Now you can't complete the game even if you can figure it out on your own. You still need to get all the pieces and you have to collect everything. You have to complete it. You can't just guess because there's no way to type it in or anything like that. And there we go. Now we turn this off, and because I was standing in front of this room, I could...
Destroy him, my robot.
No, I don't think so. In case you didn't hear that, he said destroy him, my robots, but these robots are kind of useless. So they're not going to be destroying anybody soon. And so let's go and say hello to Elvin.
No.
Mission accomplished. Congratulations.
Yay! Well, there you have it. The system worked fine. I was quite surprised. I was worried because my VIC-20 already crapped out on me. So, you know, I either have to get that thing fixed, buy a new one, or just forget it. Anyways, the Commodore 64 works. I got a lot of other games that I want to get to. I got a few games that I've liked that probably a lot of you have never even heard of. So I'll probably try and get to those as well. To some of my other episodes. I don't want to do every episode on the Commodore 64 because, you know, it's just one system. It's just one set of games. But I'll throw them in here and there. But yeah, that was Impossible Mission, and I had a lot of fun because that game, I mean, I played it all the time. I think I memorized all the levels. It does change up every time. You know, the rooms are always in different places every time you start the game, so you can't just memorize it from front to back. The robots are always going to be different patterns and different kinds. You just got to understand which robots, like what kinds of robots there are, understand their behaviors, and you should be fine. That being said, there are going to be cases where the robots will be in a spot where you just cannot get around them, so you have to hit that snooze piece, the part that puts them to sleep. You just have to. But yeah, I was able to complete the game, which was cool. I haven't done that in a long time. I was, you know, afraid I wouldn't be able to do it. I do have the Impossible Mission on the Wii, which they've kind of re-envisioned it essentially. They have the classic version on it, and but you got to use the Wii controller, which is a little bit harder. And I've noticed that it's just a little bit different. They kept to the same concepts, but it's just a little different. And of course, I also have it on the Atari 7800, which is the infamous impossible mission, because there's a glitch in it and you can't even complete it, which really sucks. But I mean, I remember when I first got it, I started playing it, and I mean, like, first got it a few months or maybe a year ago, not when I was a kid. I didn't have it when I was a kid. But when I played the Atari one, I got as far as I possibly can go. Now what happens is, you know, those computers that I went to, where I can make the robots fall asleep, I believe what happens is that a piece will end up in one of those, and you can't search those. So, like a puzzle piece, and you just can't search it. It's impossible. And so the game cannot be completed. How that ever happened, I don't know if I've ever read or heard anybody give an actual explanation, or, you know, how that oversight happened. I guess it was just lack of testing. I guess it was just quickly getting it out into the market. I have no idea. Apparently that was ours is for the NTSC, but the PAL version for I guess overseas, theirs was corrected. So if you have the PAL version, apparently you can complete it and see the ending. You know, so it's a kind of a bummer. But I mean, it's still a cool game anyways. It's pretty much the same idea. Graphics a little different, and there's no talking, of course. The Atari Sony 800 uses the 2600 sound chip, and there's no ability to talk. Anyways, hope you liked the video. I had a lot of fun playing with my Commodore. I think I'm going to do a lot more with it, and you know, see where I go from here. If you have any ideas or thoughts or requests, throw them at me. Maybe I can get around to it, and you know, get some future videos going. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.